Let's bring in Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. Leader, very good to have you with us today. What is your overall reaction? You have been on Capitol Hill for 37 years, and you've seen a lot. In terms of what we're seeing right now happening in the world, what does it mean to you?
Well, look, I think the Ukrainians are inspiring us all, and particularly their dynamic and outstanding president, who's so brave. It's literally rallying the rest of the world behind them. Who would have ever thought you'd see demonstrations in the streets of Russian cities? Who would have ever thought you'd see the unity that we have in NATO now that we've not had before? The Germans completely reversing their relatively passive membership in NATO in the past, a willingness to send weapons directly to Ukraine, willing to increase their defense budget. Two non-NATO countries saying maybe we need to get in, Finland and Sweden. Look, Vladimir Putin has done a lot to unify NATO. The Ukrainians have done a lot to inspire the rest of the world. We need to give them everything they need as rapidly as possible.
So with regard to that, this $3.5 billion that the Pentagon is looking at sending in weapons is part of a spending bill that at this point doesn't look like it would be passed until the earliest, maybe March 11th. Is that true? That 10 days might be too late for the people of Ukraine.
Well, I hope not. I mean, look, what the administration is trying to do is to take the defense supplemental out of the defense budget. It needs to be on top of the defense budget, and we need to pass it and pass it quickly.
And how quickly could that happen, sir?
As quick as next week.
As early as next week. You know, when you look at the president's speech tonight, he goes into the chamber this evening with a 37% approval number. What do you think he needs to do tonight in order to galvanize the United States and to, as you said earlier, make a big course correction? What did you mean by that?
Well, look, he's in this kind of shape because he deserves to be in this kind of shape. Raging inflation, uncontrolled border. In my view, too late to deter Putin. Had we taken some of these steps earlier, this might not have happened. The president's in a tough position because he deserves to be in a tough position. Having said that, we are where we are with regard to Ukraine. We need to step up in every conceivable way and help these people defend themselves against the Russian aggression.
So Senator Manchin was fuming earlier today when he spoke about the fact that we're still buying 500,000 barrels of oil from Russia per day. Is that something that you want to see put an end to as well?
Yeah, look, I mean, we were energy independent in 2019 under the previous administration. This administration shutting down domestic production and apparently continuing to shut down domestic production and importing back into our country from overseas. This is outrageous. We have enough energy to be energy independent and to export oil and natural gas to Europe.
But would you back right away, would you back banning Russian oil imports, even if it means that oil prices and gasoline prices would subsequently go a lot higher for Americans right now?
Well, they're going up anyway because of this conflict and because of the domestic restraint. The administration continues to this day to put on domestic production. You need to take those restraints off, let us produce as we know how to produce, become energy independent as we were 2 years ago, and have plenty to export to our Ukrainian friends and to our Europeans.
You know, there's obviously still a negotiation going on with Iran right now, and Russia is at the table as part of that negotiation to give sort of new life to the Iran nuclear deal. What's your take on that?
Well, the last thing we need to do is to enter into another flawed Iranian nuclear deal because it had absolutely nothing to do with all of their collateral activities. They're exporting terrorism all around the Middle East, and apparently that has no relevance to this nuclear negotiation. It was a bad deal when it was made. The previous president made the right decision to get out of it, and we ought not to go back into it.
Senator Mitch McConnell, thank you very much, sir. We'll be watching along with you all in the chamber tonight. Good to have you here today, sir.
Good to be with you.